Why do children dread mathematics? Because of the wrong approach. Because it is looked at as a subject, says Shakuntala Devi, an Indian writer and mental calculator popularly known as the human computer. Hello, listeners. Here is Giridhar, and you are listening to the podcast Giridhar's Garady. Today, we have someone who seems to be silent but is actually not, who seems to be innocent but is actually not, who seems to be an introvert but is actually not, an amazing writer, poet, and above all, a fabulous personality. On this note, here's welcoming the guest for today's episode, Supriya. Hi, Supriya. Welcome to Giridhar's Garady. How are you doing today?
Hi, Giridhar. Thank you. I'm doing good. How about you?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank you. Great. Just one quick question before we start. How do you feel like being a guest on this podcast?
Yeah, I'm privileged to be on this podcast. And also, I'm feeling a bit nervous as this is my first experience.
That's fine, Supriya. I have full confidence on you. I'm sure we'll make it a great session today.
Thank you, Giridhar.
All right. So, Supriya, tell us, what is this math phobia all about?
Yeah, generally, we do hear about lot of phobias. So one of those is math phobia. Like if you wanted to define it, it's termed as numerophobia or also called as arithmophobia. But this basic sentences will not be termed as math phobia because numerophobia or arithmophobia, they are like fear of numbers and doing small calculations. In generally, especially in our India, we can see students having this math phobia at a certain age only. This happens because they see math as an extremely tough subject, which they cannot master. This negative attitude stops them from focusing on the subject and they get nervousness because of this. Apart from this all, it's an emotional condition. Like, can I do this or not? Whether am I going to get the correct answer or not? Also, sometimes, like, especially if you observe grades 8, 9, that type of students, it may be a result of several negative experiences in their past. So that's it. We can say this is like a math phobia.
Yes, that's right. In fact, I have to say that even I experienced math phobia when I was in school.
Yes. Actually, this is a certain stage. We cannot say child who is having math phobia will be remaining as phobic throughout the life. This stage only exists certain like 2 to 3 years. Especially you observe, maybe a child was very good until grade 6 to 7. They start developing this phobia only in 8th, 9th, 10th classes. As they're done with 10th, again they're allowed to go for engineering only.
Yes, that's right. In fact,
Yeah.
I used to have this phobia, but after that, I didn't have that again. Yes, you are absolutely right. Okay, so how common is this math phobia among students in India?
Maybe I'm not exactly aware about all the India students in India, but recently a survey was conducted in New Delhi. In this survey, it is proved that 82% of the students surveyed are fearful of math. So only 2 out of 10 students are confident. You know, even I observe a common point that students, as I told you, when they're especially from grades, some grades like 7th to 10th, only they will be having some sort of phobia. That also we cannot term it as a phobia. They will be dreadful because maybe lack of some of the concepts learned in previous classes, or suddenly the level of textbook changes from one place to other place, level of experiencing. Until grade 6, the basic level of mathematics will be there. Suddenly algebra and linear equations comes into the place. So from there only they start developing this math phobia.
Okay, okay. So according to you, what are the reasons behind this math phobia?
Well, there will be like many factors. Certainly parental pressure, because we do observe parents how they will be. See, there will be two types of parental pressures. One set of parents, no, they will be like positive reinforcement will be there where the child develops. On the other side, the parent may seem like comparing them with another children or like their own siblings. This is one of the cause. And also teachers aggressive and irritating characteristics, which in thoroughly creating low self-esteem of the child. And very rare cases, incorrect instruction method. Nowadays, we can see there are many online videos trending. Some of them, they teach incorrect instruction method, means they will be only concentrating on the final output, but not step-by-step approach. So we can have list of factors. Also, apart from all these things, the most important reason for this math phobia is the hype generated around the subject. And then you ask any student, first thing, what are you like, which subject you are afraid of? The first thing the child utters is mathematics. Is it that they cannot do math? Not like that. Because people around the students speaks like that. Math is tough, math is dreadful. These are the words which comes out from the student parent group and also some of the peer group and people around us. So this sort of negative talk creates a disproportionate aura around the students as well as the subject. So it creates a panic and fear in the students. Also, they feel like little complicated in some of the concepts. So these all together are some of the regions, like we can say these are the regions which are piled up to have this math phobia.
Yes, exactly. All these reasons are something or the other which every one of us can easily correlate.
Maybe, not like for every child will be having the same regions. It depends, like how the way they are moved up, like parental approach, as I told, and some might have some different aspects. Different people have different aspects.
Yes, yes. We can easily correlate these reasons to either us personally or to someone who is in and around us. Yes. All right. So now that we have seen the reasons, let us know what are the signs or symptoms that we could see in students having this math phobia.
Actually, it's a phobia. We cannot say like it's a fever or it's having some symptoms. But of course, they do have some symptoms. And this also, the symptoms may like not everyone have the same symptoms. Some does not like having any symptoms, but they do have this phobia. Some generalized symptoms I can say, maybe some of them can correlate with them. Like they feel helplessness. Like when they started doing a problem and they were stuck up, they feel helplessness. And they don't know how to approach, whom to approach. Lack of confidence is one of the thing. Also, sometimes we'll be having like, we'll be in a fear, whether will I get correct answer or not. These are like some of the physical symptoms. Also, some places and some students, you can observe mainly, they bite their nails in tension. I can see many students biting their nails in especially math class only, not in any other classes. Sweating in their hands is one of the common symptoms. When they are in tension, they will be obviously having a sweat in their hands and they look very stressed. Also,
yes.
this is my anecdote. Actually, I'm just trying to say an anecdote. One of the child in my class, he was very good in languages, like completely extraordinary in languages. But coming to my math class, I don't want to reveal any name. He used to just shut down his mouth in the class, like jipped his mouth and never tries to give any eye contact. Slowly, I understood the child's psychology. Then these are like some of the symptoms we can say, actually, those who are having math phobia.
Yes, exactly. Because it is necessary for either parents or teachers to understand from the student's point of view, I have actually asked this question about the symptoms and all.
Okay.
Well, now that we understood the problem, let's talk about solutions. What are the preliminary actions that teachers can take once they identify math phobia in their students?
Teachers, actually, it's not easy task to teachers, like for teachers also, to take any actions, because teachers also face many obstacles in the classroom. Generally, people won't think like that, but teachers also do need to have some like support and resources. But here in generally, we don't have that support or resources in the class. Apart from this, large classroom sizes. I doesn't mean the size of the class. I mean to say like a teacher-student ratio, time constraint. And if I goes on saying like that, there are many more reasons for teachers also to concentrate on a particular child to take any actions. But also they can do some things like they can instill a love for the subject. Means instead if the teacher herself or himself has a hatred or not especially like not love towards the subject, they cannot create any impact on the students. So the first step I always suggest to the teachers or the tutors or the parents, please, you love mathematics, then obviously the child loves mathematics. And the first step also is build the confidence. Let the child come out from all these places, whatever, whether they say wrong also, no issues. Let it be, let them open up. Try to start building that confidence. Slowly strengthen their basic skills. Then computational fluency. Also, sometimes we can give mnemonics. Maybe I especially love to give to my students some mnemonics where they feel that complications and whether it is difficult to memorize or by heart. Suppose if trigonometry is there, I speak like instead of by hearting sine is equal to opposite by hypotenuse, cos is equal to adjacent by hypotenuse. Instead that, I generally gives a mnemonic called as Sokatova. Sing like that Sokatova. It's happy, you will be happy, even I will be happy, and you will be remembering the concept also. So these are some of the elements where we can give to the children so that they will be at least feel comfortable with the subject.
That's amazing, Supriya. I'm sure your students are really blessed to have a teacher like you.
My goodness. I'm humbled actually.
So not that you are not just a teacher, in fact you are also a parent. So now here's my next question for you. How about the actions from parents? In what way can they help their children who have math phobia?
Absolutely. Parents play vital role in molding a student's character actually. So first of all, they should avoid making statements around their children stating that you are not capable of doing this. You are not equal to that particular child. So this sort of negative talk, they should avoid. Also, it's maximum enough for the children to give one positive word so that they have a lot of encouragement from the parental side. If the encourages or motivates the child, like some parents have always a keen observation on the marks. Not only marks describe the child. If the child wants to be a musician, math is nothing to do with him. So this type of positive approach parents should have towards the child and towards the subject. So I just wanted to conclude that a patient, positive and supportive attitude of the parent towards children can result in overcoming math phobia, and also they can help the students to master the subject.
Yes, once again, well said, Supriya. Can't agree more than this. Okay, moving on. Is there a way students themselves can get rid of their math phobia? And if yes, in what way?
Of course, there is a proverb, where there is a will, there is a way. If students themselves wanted to get rid of this math phobia, first of all, they should change their mindset. Also, they need to understand that math won't come by memorizing or by hearting only the formula, correct? No?
Yes.
If they are feeling now, some students, they will be having one sort of fear that if I go to the teacher or tutor or a parent, they may question me and I fail to answer. So better sit in my own shell. They makes comfortable in their own shell without coming out of that. So for the students, those who wanted to learn, I always suggest peer learning. Peer learning is more helpful for them. Apart from all these things, systematic revision of concepts, mind mapping. These days, we can have a lot of graphical methods, interactive sessions through the online. These all helps the students to master the subject.
Yes, yes, that's right. Okay, so generally we hear that prevention is better than cure. So
Yes.
do you think we can prevent this math phobia from not occurring in the first place?
Actually, I already communicated. This math phobia will not be coming from the tender age onwards. Children, as soon as you see in grade 1, grade 2, see until even grade 5, people say that my child scored 40 on 40 or 100 on 100 in mathematics and in English. Whereas when coming to grade 7, child is not able to score a minimum mark. This happens because of sudden sudden escalation, what you will call only at the age of grade 7. If you observe all the textbooks, because I used to teach Cambridge, Oxford, all the so-called subjects, until grade 6, they will be having a standard concept. Suddenly in grade 7, they elevate the topics at a stretch. So they will be developing this math phobia only in this age, at least like if I wanted to say at an age of 12 to 13. Strictly speaking, while algebra is introduced into their mathematics, until that they will be very comfortable. So if a positive methodology is adapted, especially that teachers also to be trained, instead of having a just knowledge like teacher who can teach, it's not like that. A trained teacher or trained people can teach the students very better in this age. So if they are able to do such type of things in grade 7, especially, there may be very less chances of getting into this phobia. And as this completes grade 10, they reaches to a adolescent age, grade 10, they completes all the sort of different concepts in mathematics, and they feel that, yeah, I'm very good at mathematics. And I proudly say that math is my favorite subject. I do understand these are the feelings from grade 7 to grade 10, because all the students, I used to interact with them with all the age groups.
Okay. Okay. So now that you are talking about the syllabus and how it changes accordingly from class 6 to 7th, how it is being elevated and all. So here's my next question to you. What are the positive changes that you suggest in the current education system to prevent any kind of phobia, may not be necessarily the math phobia, for students during their education?
Changes in the education, of course, it's not my task, and it's going to be an Herculean task for each and everyone. But anyway, we all understand education is crucial. But there are certainly some changes needed. See, like once upon a time, maybe seasons has changed, time has changed. It's not the age where my parents has learned mathematics, where I learned mathematics, where my child is learning mathematics. So as soon as the ages changes, generations changes, we need to adapt different methodologies to teach them further generations. But apart from all this, there are still some places which happens like rote learning takes place. And the poor thing is, still now assessing each and every child with the same question paper and evaluation system. So I cannot judge each and every child's caliber by giving a same question paper. At least I'm happy for CBSE board as they introduce this new concept of differentiating basic level of question paper and standard level of question paper for grade 10 especially. So there are some sort of techniques which we can change. Personalized education, at least especially in the uses of technology. So each child can be taught personally with a helping hand by each and every teacher, like a shadow teacher can be. Apart from all these things, not only I'm talking about math or some subject, they must be taught in depth about the morals of life and inculcated with humanistic values. They should be also taught that life is much beyond money and marks. Also, they should understand that success is not measured only with marks, because we know that so-called very great people are already scored very less in their academics, but now they are ruling, actually. We can say that they are ruling the world. So this sort of changes what I expect.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Rightly said, Supriya, once again. So
Thank
lastly, yeah. So lastly, before we wind up the concept, just one message for our listeners with respect to our today's concept, math phobia.
Message. First of all, no hype for the subject. Don't create any hype. Strictly speaking, math is an interesting subject. It's fascinating in each and every topic. Please don't think it as a boring and monotonous subject. And most important thing is exams. The word exam itself, it creates anxiety among students, parents, as well as teachers. Understand, exams are testing your preparation, but not you. Finally, doing math gives such a positive encouragement that every problem has a solution, not only in the subject, but also in life. Only thing is that you just need to discover it. That's it, all my listeners.
Awesome, Supriya. Thank you. Thank you so much for that wonderful message to our listeners.
Thank you, Giridhar.
All right. So now it's time for us to move on to a special segment in our podcast, that is the rapid fire round. Are you ready?
Okay, ready?
Great. So, Supriya, here's my first question to you in the rapid fire round.
Okay.
Mathematics or science?
Obviously, mathematics.
Expected. Okay. Geometry or trigonometry?
Trigonometry.
Awesome. Algebra or calculus?
Interlinked, both.
Okay. So you want to go ahead with both.
Both.
Okay. Probability or statistics?
Again, both are interlinked. We love to have chances. We love to take chances. So probability, okay.
Okay. So since this is just a fun segment, I didn't think much before actually preparing all these things. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Differentiation or integration?
Come on. Integration is vice versa of differentiation, and differentiation is vice versa of integration.
So I just wanted to know what you would like to choose.
Integration, combination, always combine. People says combine, don't segregate.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Rhombus or rectangle?
Rectangle. Diagonal distance is the shortest distance.
Oh my God. Okay. Graph or chart?
Graph, visual expression.
Okay. Geometry box or calculator?
Geometry box. Don't want calculators. I want each and every child to be own calculators.
Awesome. Okay. Problem or solution? I think I know the answer.
Actually, what you thought, I'm not going to give that answer. Problem. If you see the problem only, you will look for solution.
Okay, this is again amazing. Okay, so Supriya, my last question to you in the rapid fire round. In fact, the one that I like the most. Let's see what you're going to say.
Okay.
Giridhar or Supriya?
Obviously, Giridhar. If Giridhar is not there, Supriya will not be there today, actually, on this podcast, especially.
Ah, thank you. Thank you so much, not only for choosing me, but also for being with us on this podcast today. And we look forward to having you once again on the show in future.
Thank you so much, Giridhar. I'm really equally extremely delighted to stay with you on this podcast.
Great. Thank you once again for being with us today.
Thank you so much, Giridhar. Thank you. Have a nice day, all of you.
Thank you. Well, here's the end of the episode, listeners. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll be back next week with another amazing guest. See you.